Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hello again. So this is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, Farmhouse and Rustic reads, seasonal decor. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. You can also follow me over on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook. And I also have an Etsy shop that you can go and purchase some of these things that I make, and you can make them yourselves. I have great wood kits for you guys, so go check it out. But this is all about what would you make. Our hosts are Rustic and Lace DIY, DIY Craft Holic, and our guest host is Country Lily DIY Decor. So all their channels will be listed below in my description box. There will also be a playlist. Make sure you go check everyone out. So for DIY number one, I am going to take some of these floral picks from Dollar Tree. I'm also going to take these distress oxides, stamping pads, also some paints, my dark antiquing wax, this stencil that looks like a doily, and also this pumpkin from the Dollar Tree, and some ribbon. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is take that piece off of there, and then I'm going to sand the L a little bit so you don't see it that much. It'll be a little duller, so this way when I paint, you won't see it because it's black, you know, so it'll come through the paint a little bit. So that's why I sanded it down. Then I went in with the paint. This is burnt pumpkin, or burnt orange, sorry. And I use a sponge to paint most of the time. I just like using the sponges. It leaves less streaks when you paint, so that's why I use, and I just cut them up. And then I'm going to use a burnt umber. That one I'm going to use with my brush to do the top of the pumpkin there. And then I'm going to do a dry brush of the maize color chalk paint by Waverly, just to give it a little something else. You'll see in a minute why. I'm going to put some other yellows on here as well, but I really like the color. And then I'm going to tape down my doily stencil in the corner here. And I used a lot of tape because I wanted to make sure I didn't get it on the pumpkin. Then I'm going to be using, this is mustard seed distress oxide, and I'm using my little sponge tool, and I'm rubbing it into the stencil on the outer part of the doily. And then I'm going to come in with the mahogany color, which you'll see in a minute. And it's like a deep red. It's almost like a burgundy. And I'm going to go the next section of the doily there and rub that in. And then in the center of the doily there, I'm going to be using Vintage Photo. Now you can use paints and do this if you don't have distress oxides. That's another option. I just used the distress oxide because I wanted to have that type of technique on here. And then you peel it off, and look how light it is. Super pretty though, and it makes a nice little accent to your pumpkin. And I really like the distressed vintage look. So if you don't like this, you could just skip this part altogether and just do the pumpkin the way you like. I'm just showing you something different that I thought was really neat and I wanted to try. And I did the same thing in this corner of the pumpkin. And then on my Cricut, I cut out Hello Fall. If you have a subscription, you can get these fonts already made up for you on there. So if you have a Cricut, I would definitely tell you to get it. And I'm just using my transfer tape, and I'm going to peel that off. And I'm going to do the same thing with the fall. And I like how they have these fonts already made up. It's super cool. This is a new thing now with Cricut. You don't have to sit there and pick out the fonts yourself. They already have them picked out for you, all different kinds. And it just makes it a lot easier and quicker. Now, sometimes the transfer tape don't work, so you have to really scrub it down there with your little thing, your little tool, Cricut tool. And then I made a bow. I didn't show how I made my bow because I have lots of videos of that, so you could go back to my other videos and check out how I make these. I always use a bow dabra. I make a lot of different kinds of bows, and I just glued that down in the corner there. And then I'm going to be using a couple of these sunflowers that I cut off of a pick, and I'm going to glue those down here underneath the bow on the bottom of the bow where the tails are. I end up using 3 of them. And then I'm also going to be bundling a couple of the pieces that I'm taking off of the other pick from the Dollar Tree. This pick here, I just used some twine and put glue down, and then I'm just going to wrap it around and bundle them together. This way I could just stick them down all together on my pumpkin. It just makes it easier instead of doing each individual one, because I wanted them all bunched together. And then I put a lot of hot glue and stick that right underneath my bow, and I just put it kind of hanging down in the front there from the bottom of the bow. And that's it, you guys. And then I just glued down my last sunflower there to make sure it was going to stick. And there it is. So let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. So today is all about what would you make. We're making things with wood. And these are the hosts and the guest hosts. Like I told you, there will also be a playlist. So make sure you go check that out. It's all in my description box. So now DIY number 2. So DIY number 2, I cut these out of my laser cutter, and these are available in my Etsy shop if you're interested in getting one yourself and making it. I'm going to be using some strips of fabric that I cut into strips to make a bow. It comes with the popsicle sticks too, and it also comes with the piece you see there to make it stand. So all of these shelf sitters that I make come with a stand, so you guys get that with it so you could stand it up. The first color I'm using, of course, is white, because these are candy corns, and we're going to make them look like candy corns. And then one's a bigger and smaller, as you could see. And then the center, of course, I used the, I believe this was spice pumpkin I used for the center pieces. And then the bottom, of course, I'm going to go in with the yellow, of course, which is the Maize color by Waverly, the chalk paint. But you can use any, colors you want to use. Because I know some of these come in chocolate, too. They have chocolate on them, so you can use that, too. And then I did not like the maize color, so I went in with a darker yellow. And then I go around the edges. I want this to look a little rustic, so I'm going around the edges with this these dark wax. It's in my Amazon shop if you're interested. All you do is use a stencil brush, dip it in the wax, and then just go around the edges and rub it in with your finger. You can also use it to just dress the whole thing with a bigger stencil brush and do like a light brushing over it, which I'm going to do as well. And if you get too much with this stuff, for those of you who are new to my channel, you can just use a wipey and it comes right off. It lightens it up and comes right, most of it comes off. So yeah, and I love using this stuff. I swear by it. It just makes everything look better to me. But if you don't like this look, then just skip this part altogether. But this is what I like, so that's what I'm doing. But I do it on each one of these. And then now you see me using the bigger stencil brush, and I'm going over the top. Now I left this in so you guys can see what I do with it. And you'll see I'm going to go a little heavy in one section. And then I'm going to grab my baby wipe. I use my finger to rub it in. And that helps too, but see how I did too much? And then I just took my baby wipe and wiped it up. And then I did this on all the pieces. So, and this is going to give it that rustic look. And I absolutely love that look. I love it. Rustic Farmhouse is my favorite. And then I took the little square pieces that I cut out of fabric, and I'm just taking the edges and fraying them. So I'm just taking some of the thread out. And then it's going to make it look, frayed on the ends. And I did that on both pieces. Now in the center of these, I wanted it to be yellow. So I painted it with the maize color. Just in the center. I didn't go all the way to the ends where it's frayed. I left that white. And then you'll see we're going to use another piece to go over on top of these. We're making like little patches that are going to be stuck onto the candy corns. And then once I got these all painted, I'm going to take my popsicle sticks, which this comes with your kit, and I'm going to stick them down to the back, and that's what's going to hold your pieces together. So I use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to do that. And the wood glue is the super wood glue at Dollar Tree that I use. And then I'm also going to show you with the other one as well how I stick it down. So I'm just showing you so that if you want the kit and you get it, you know exactly what I'm doing here. Then once I get those stuck down, we're going to glue the two together. That's what I did anyways, because you get one stand with these, so they're supposed to be glued together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on it, and then I'm going to stick the smaller one in front of the larger one, like so. And then we're going to do the stand on there, but first we're going to decorate this. So there it is. And then I frayed the edges of this fabric as well, because these are the other square pieces, and I got one bigger and one smaller. And then I used some of my vintage photo to dirty up the pieces, because I wanted them to be I wanted them to go with everything. So I kind of used that to dirty them up a little bit. And then I took some Excelsior, and I'm going to glue that down on the larger one towards the bottom. And then you could see there I made a bow. That's a fabric, like raggy bow I call them, that I made in my Bodabra. I also have those in my other videos if you want to see how I make them. And then I'm just going to put some more on the bottom here. I use my finger protector because I always burn my finger, guys. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to glue down the bow right on top of the Excelsior. Like so. I love making the raggy bows because they're so like rustic looking. And then I'm going to take the patches and I'm going to put them together. So now I'm going to take this piece and put it on top of the larger piece. And then the smaller one, I'm going to do the opposite. And these look like little patches now. And then we're going to glue them on top of our little candy corns. So I'm going to put a button in the center of my bow. I get my wooden buttons on Amazon, but I also get some on Temu as well. And then I'm going to put a button in the center of each one of these patches as well. So the smaller one, I'm going to put one button there. And I just glued it down to the smaller candy corn. And then the larger one, I'm going to glue to the larger candy corn. And I just kind of kitty cornered it. And then I'm going to glue 2 buttons on this patch. And then once I glue those down, we're going to put our backing on to help it stand up. Isn't it cute? I love the way these turned out. So this, you just take the triangle piece and you put it down the slit of the other piece. You just glue it. The glue just goes right in there and it's not going to go anywhere. And then you're going to glue the whole thing to the back of your candy corns, and that's going to help it stand up. And you want to make sure you stand it up when you do it, because if you don't put it on right, it'll still fall over. So just make sure you stand it up. See, I could have did it a little bit more back, and there it is. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So now DIY number 3, this is our last one. I also cut this one out of my laser cutter. It is available in my Etsy shop, and he is so dang cute. I love this scarecrow. This one is my favorite as well. I have all favorites. And we're going to use a lot of paint. So I'll let you know the paints as we go along. I'm going to be using my dark wax. I'm also going to be using some more Distress Oxides, some picks from the Dollar Tree, and also I'm going to make a bow. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint. I use sponges to paint, and I just cut them up. They're from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of like 6, I think. And I'm just painting the hat a mossy meadow, that's what it's called, from Folk Art. It's just an acrylic paint. And then I'm going to do the brim of the hat also in that color, of course, so everything goes together. And then I'm going to paint the center of the sunflower that's on the hat, but also you're going to see this part peek through the hat, which you'll see in a minute, with the burnt umber color I did. And then the yellow I'm using for the sunflower, it's goldenrod, I believe. I try to give you guys the names of the paints that I'm using so that you guys know what colors I'm using, because some of y'all like to, you know, use the same colors. Now, what I'm going to do with the hair that's on here of the scarecrow, I'm going to do a dry brush with a stencil brush. These stencil brushes are from Dollar Tree, you guys. And I just do like a little bit heavy, but not too heavy on the brush. And then I just kind of brush it on because I'm going to use 2 different colors. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the Happy Fall just like a dry brush over the top of it. And then I'm going to come in with an orange now and use that as well. And then, of course, I did the beak of the crow with the yellow. Now I'm taking this orange. I think this is a crayon orange, it's called. And I'm doing another dry brush over the hair of the scarecrow, which is supposed to look like hay, right? And I do go over again, and I just keep doing back and forth with both colors, the yellow and the orange, over and over again until I get it the color that I want it to be. Now, you could just do it yellow. That's fine, too, but I just wanted to do a little bit different there. And then, of course, the little candy corn for his nose. I ended up doing 2 orange and 1 yellow. I didn't want the white because I didn't think you'd be able to see it that well, so I just did 2 orange, and I did the center with the yellow. And then the eyes I did with black, and then I use a light blue color. I believe it's Ocean Mist. And then I used... oh, yeah, and of course I did the crow black. And then, yeah, I used this Ocean Mist color for the blue on the eyes. And then the bottom portion, I just did white. So it looks like real eyes. And then, of course, the vine and the leaf there that's on the hat, I did that with a hunter green color. And, yeah. I guess I showed you all my painting. And then I'm going to do the face of the scarecrow with Linen by Folk Art. But you can use any light brown color you have for the face. You could do it any color you want. And then I'm going to go around the edges now of the hat, and I'm going to use that mahogany color, Distress Oxide, and I'm going to go around the edges to make it look a little worn. But you could skip this part if you don't like to do that. And then the little, I think it looks like a tic-tac-toe board. I did over the top a little bit. I sponged a little bit over that. And then I also did it on top of the leaf to give it a little bit of that red color, that deep burgundy red color on the leaf as well for fall. And then the cheeks, I used my, I think this one is raspberry or something like that. I can't, no, lipstick, that's what it is. And I did that on the rosy cheek part, and I just used my finger to rub it in. And now we're going to glue the whole thing down. We're going to start gluing everything down. So the first thing I glued down was the hair and everything, and the little flower of the brim of the hat. And once I glue that down, then I'm going to do the happy fall, and then also the eyes and the nose. I just brush on a little bit of the glue and then just put a little dot of the hot glue. Because if you try to squeeze it out, sometimes too much comes out and then it, you know, comes out of the ends of it. So I don't like that. And then I gotta wipe it. So I just brush it on with an old brush when there's smaller pieces. But look how cute he is. I love this. And then the fall, I did the same thing. I just brushed on some of that super wood glue. And then I like how this one comes engraved so that when you go to glue it down, you know exactly where to glue it down. You don't have to hold the piece, burn your fingers. I mean, when they're that thin, it's so hard. I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem. So I like how it has it right on the piece for you to glue it down. And then I'm going to glue down my little crow on the brim there. And then we're just going to put a little jute twine and string it on there for the hanger, because you could hang this up. Or you can use it as a shelf sitter if you wanted to. Then I put a bow. I made a bow, of course, and I'm going to put that in the center there. And then I'm going to use my little picks from the Dollar Tree. I like these little orange picks because there's a little bit of the orange, the yellow, a little bit of that mahogany color, which is like a burgundy. And I just stuck those on each side. And that's it, you guys. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to go check everyone out. And if you like these and you want to make them yourself, they will be in my Etsy shop, so you can order them for yourself. And yeah, so go check everyone out. Make sure you check out the playlist. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And as always, remember, stay crafty. Bye.